Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Car Keys. My name is Reese Hanson and I shall be your host for however many episodes we're allowed to make. The show, as you've probably guessed, revolves mainly around cars. We're going to have reviews, news, random features and more. We are starting off, however, with AI. As you know, many people are slightly concerned that it might take our jobs, and before you know it, we'll all have robot servants working tirelessly all our jobs and doing everything for us so that all we can do is sit around and relax, which is bad. But will it take all our jobs? More specifically, can it review a car? I asked ChatGPT to write me a car review script in order to find out.
Attention, fellow humans. Today we embark on a unique exploration where man and machine converge in a quest for automotive enlightenment. AI is being used in disease detection. It is being used to drive cars, but can it review one? Stay tuned as we unravel ChatGPT's perspective on the Mark IV VW Golf. This isn't just another car review. It's a testament to the limitless possibilities of human-AI collaboration.
What?
If I'm honest, ChatGPT wrote that bit as well.
Oh, is that so just so you don't have to write any of it?
Yeah, pretty much this entire video idea came from, to be honest. Like, literally all I did was just input details of the car and then it just wrote it all. I mean, I had to add a few bits here and there, but like, it's just a script, I just have to read it. Yeah. I don't even bother memorising it. Just reading the script. Anyway, should we see what ChatGPT, whatever you say it, let's see what AI has to say. Hey there, car enthusiasts, R. Hanson here, and today we're taking a joyride in the classic, the 2003 Mark IV Volkswagen Golf with a 1.6 litre engine, 5 doors, and a slick black paint job. Camera, get ready to capture some charm, performance, reliability, and of course, a touch of humour.
You don't sound like you normally do.
No, not exactly, if I'm honest. I mean, it's tried, it's decent, but I'm effectively just a performer now. I'm performing to the upper echelon of what ChatGPT expects from its actors.
Okay.
Let's kick things off with the specs. Under the hood, the 2003 Golf houses a peppy 1.6 litre engine delivering just the right amount of oomph for your daily adventures, paired with a smooth 5-speed manual or optional automatic transmission. The Golf is ready to hit the road with style. And speaking of hitting the road, you'll be pleased to know that this classic comes with a reputation for reliability that's as solid as its build. Which effectively just means it's as reliable as it is reliable, right? I mean,
yeah.
Which is something I'd probably put in one of my reviews, so I can't fault it really. Camera, let's capture those first impressions. The Mark IV Golf's timeless design still turns heads on the road. The black paint adds a touch of sophistication, and the 5-door configuration, that's 4 more doors that are convertible. So you're practically riding in luxury. ChatGPT can't count, confirmed here, you heard it first here, folks. Now, let's step inside. Camera, pan around the interior of the 2003 Golf. The design may be considered a little bit dated by today's standards, but hey, who needs a futuristic spaceship when you can time travel in this classic? The 5 doors make it easier for you and your friends to jump in and maybe even toss someone in the trunk for a memorable road trip experience. Let's talk about the space in the back seats. Camera, focus on the rear seating area. Despite its compact exterior, the Mark IV Golf surprises with its generous back seat legroom. Even your tallest friends can sit comfortably without feeling cramped. It's like a TARDIS back here, bigger on the inside. Camera, let's zoom in on the features.
Which ones?
Well, I'll get to it.
Okay.
The 2003 Mark IV Golf comes equipped with the essentials: power steering, no, it says power windows. Power windows, air conditioning, and a decent sound system. Claimer, you do have to buy a dongle for this to work, but ChatGPT doesn't know that, so it's fine. Anyway, continuing on. And a decent sound system, perfect for a carpool karaoke session. Just don't sing so bad that your passengers want to jump out. Oh.
In hindsight, I possibly should have shown you a review that I've actually planned before an AI one so that you know what to compare it to. But anyway, we will be watching the second half of that later in the show. Now though, it's time for car news. Now, as this is the first episode and the first news segment, we do have quite a lot to cover since the last episode, which was never. So our first story does cover quite a lot. First thing, the Benz Patent Motorwagen. Not loads to say about this, haven't driven it personally, but I hear it's not great. Steering's not too intuitive, really lacking in horsepower, and to be honest, I think they did a really poor job of the roof, so I wouldn't look at buying one as your daily driver if I were you. It does feel like it was created in 1885 or something. Next, feeling a bit more like it's from, I don't know, 1908 or something, the Ford Model T. This one I would be more likely to recommend. I mean, 15 million have already been bought, so it should be a fairly safe bet, unless of course you want to go above 42 miles an hour. After this one, we're jumping forward to 1937, when a car company called Volkswagen was founded by a man named we might need to skip that one. Yeah, let's move on from that. I think we'll finish this bit off. So next, cars continue to go brum brum more and more. Then the Dacia Sandero was created. Now cars are starting to go more and more, and now we're up to last week. Right, on to the second story. About a week ago, Alfa Romeo unveiled new special editions of my favourite saloon, the Giulia Quadrifoglio, and its glucose-loving brother, the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. These new editions are called the Giulia Quadrifoglio Supersport and the Stelvio Quadrifoglio Supersport. They have been created in celebration of Alfa Romeo's first ever win of the Mille Miglia 1,000-mile endurance race, which they won in 1928 in this, a 6C 1500 Supersport. The special editions come with a lovely new red carbon fibre weave in the interior, red stitching to match, and a Quadrifoglio logo with a black background rather than a white one. They have the same engine you'd find in the regular Quadrifoglios, a 2.9 litre twin turbocharged V6 that puts out 520 horsepower and has been described by one of my favourite car journalists, Tim Brodie, as one of the best engine and chassis combinations on sale. You do also get the fancy Akrapovic sports exhausts as standard, which are usually an option. As they are special edition cars, there aren't going to be loads of them available, just 175 Stelvios and 275 Giulias. But I wouldn't imagine that's something to worry most of us, as the Giulia costs £83,000 and the Stelvio £92,000. I gotta say though, in my opinion, the Giulia Quadrifoglio may just be the best looking car currently being made. Now, our next story comes from down south, and you may have seen it already on social media, but a couple of weeks ago, the Devon and Cornwall Police Force got loaned a new police tractor to add to their ranks. If I'm honest, I don't fully understand why they need this. Assume maybe they'll just drive about at maybe 20 miles an hour everywhere, so no crimes are ever committed, as no one will get anywhere on time. The criminals will plan their break-in at 3 a.m. and won't get to their target until 3 to 5 business days later, but apparently it'll be used as an engagement tool by the Rural Affairs team at agricultural events in the summer. So I guess if a farmer tries to oversell a chicken at a market, they'll be right there to apprehend them, again in 3 to 5 business days. Anyway, they are having a competition to come up with the best name for the tractor, and if you're aged 12 or under, you can submit your name ideas, with the winner being invited to meet the Rural Affairs team and to announce the name. Now, I do feel it's our duty as a show to volunteer up some name ideas, and to do so I'm going to bring in a man who is neither younger than 12 or remotely interested in meeting the Rural Affairs team in any way. Henry, I'm going to come over there and join you now, but what have you got for us?
Well, as an adult man with the mental age of an 11-year-old boy,
Yes.
I've thought of some things that maybe the children would think of, and I'd like to run that by you.
Please.
Starting off, the agricultural antagonizer.
Good.
Just thinking, what I was trying to think was, like, you've got like the police, yeah, but you've got farming,
Yeah.
and if you get that together, it's that. And I was thinking as well, because I think with criminals, you want to scare them.
Yeah, and you think the tractor is the tool for that
I think
job.
that's the tool. One, it's very heavy.
True.
Heavy things scare. Think of everything heavy ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying. Tanks.
You.
And then also I've got the popo plough.
Good, yeah, but that kind of sounds like you're going to plough popo, which I presume.
Yeah, well,
wouldn't-
you've got to think, mate, who's keeping the blues and twos in check? You know what I mean? There are policemen who then they retire, they become farmers, and I've seen this, I've seen it everywhere. They become farmers, and then someone's got to hunt them down. You ever seen John Wick?
Yes.
Get him on a tractor, actual force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, but I mean, they could just drive at maybe, I don't know, 25 miles an hour. And then no problem,
But
really.
if a policeman is walking away,
Yeah.
absolutely going to smash him.
Do you think you need the tractor then? I feel like a car would suffice, maybe even a taser.
How are you going to crush him, though?
But you won't.
Crush him, exactly, so you can't
They
do
can't
it.
just kill people.
Another one I was thinking of, the felon harvester.
Yeah, I like that, actually, to be fair.
The mental image I've got,
Yeah.
tractor comes forward, got the combine harvester attachment on the front or on the back, depends where the criminal is. But you're driving,
You don't... Combine, that's separate. You need a police combine as well.
Exactly, so you understand what I'm saying.
But
and then you imagine, though, big, just smoothie of criminal in a bucket somewhere.
Yeah.
They won't commit any crime. It's the best deterrent.
So,
what
what we're thinking ethically here, I don't know.
Any sort of any ethnic
No,
group.
no, ethics.
Yeah.
Not ethics.
Yeah, no, it's all right. You're allowed. I'm pretty sure. I've read the law.
Have you?
Yeah, I've read the scripture.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the last one, Frank, I thought would be good.
Yeah. Solid name. I reckon we go for that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, brilliant. Thank you, Henry. And if any of you watching are aged 12 or under and try to steal any of those ideas, just know we will sue. But anyway, Henry will be back with us very soon. And for now, it is time for possibly my favourite story of all. And that story is the VW Golf is celebrating its 50th birthday this year, this month, May. Despite the first series of Golf being built at the end of March in 1974, the official launch took place in May, and since then VW have sold more than 37 million Golfs. I own one of those in the Mark IV variant myself, so of course that makes it an extra exciting anniversary for me. To mark the occasion, VW are releasing, and I quote, an enhanced version of its bestseller that is more attractive, intelligent and efficient than ever before. What this really means is that the Mark 8.5, if you want to call it that, in terms of attractiveness, has a sharper front end, 3D light graphics on the taillights, and a new illuminated Volkswagen badge on the front.
In the car, I think they worked. They helped make it.
Yes, yeah. In terms of intelligence, it has what they're calling a next-generation infotainment system, featuring a fast processor, intuitive operation, intelligent IDA voice assistant, and ChatGPT integration, which a good few car companies are doing now, and it is interesting. I've no idea how useful it is or if it's just a gimmick, and as I've never got the opportunity to try it, I don't know, but after today's feature, it does make me wonder slightly how useful it will be, but it is interesting. Finally, in relation to efficiency, you can get the car with a turbocharged diesel, a turbocharged petrol, a mild hybrid, and a new plug-in hybrid, which allegedly gives the Golf more power and an electric range of around 100 kilometers or 60 miles. Now, we are going to briefly cover F1 in just a moment, but before that, our final car-based news story is a piece of proper journalism. Not done by me, but by a charity called I Am Road Smart, who, through analysing some new statistics, discovered that the number of young drivers punished for driving without insurance has increased by 200% since 2021. And the reason for this, it's not going to shock you if you are a younger driver, ridiculously expensive car insurance. Now, to discuss this, I am bringing a man who is not only reasonably young, but also owns a car which he has probably insured, and for legal reasons, definitely insured. Henry, welcome back. What is your opinion on this story?
Well, as a man who drives a car, I think that if you don't want to go to jail, probably insure it.
Yeah.
I once knew a man called Sean who worked at a Burger King in Wales.
Yeah.
And he is above the age, the catchment age of these disgusting crimes.
Yeah.
But he used to drive, he's still not passed his test, but
Ooh.
he used to drive his car back and forth.
That's
to
a
his
different
job.
crime as well.
Well,
Not pass his test.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna commit a crime, you might as well
Yeah.
go the full Monty.
Go fully into it.
Yeah.
Commit fully.
Basic commit,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And he drove uninsured. I assume he still does in this batter
Are you
car.
doxing this man? Do I need to bleep his name?
Honestly, maybe. But yeah, so
Right. Well, to be fair, I sympathise with these young drivers because I think insurance is actually quite ridiculously expensive. In fact, I did some testing yesterday, and I have driven for a few years now, so I've got 2 years of no claims.
Well
and
done.
I had a little look on Auto Trader and found a mini hatch, which was 1.6 litre from 2010. I put in my actual details of just me as the driver, and the cheapest insurance price was £680. Now, that isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but you imagine if you didn't have 2 years of no claims, that's going to be pretty ridiculously expensive for what it is. And then I thought, well, I've got to really go in here and try and prove my point. So what I did is I tested it with one of the cars with the lowest HP from the last horsepower from the last few years, which is a no horsepower, which is a Mitsubishi Mirage and has 70 horsepower. The cheapest one for this was 586, and that went up to £3,713 at the top spec. Now, obviously, you're going to pick the bottom one, but that is actually insane. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to afford it. We need to drop these prices or come up with a solution that isn't insurance.
I think you're the man to do it.
Yeah. I think you might be the man.
Get working on your manifesto.
I do have an idea we could workshop.
Yeah.
What if we bin off insurance, or at least a bit, and then if you have an accident with another driver, you don't have to sort of settle it in court with money. You have a fight.
Well, that's so. What you're saying is you're drawing from the Romans, famously a very intelligent group of people,
Yeah.
and you're basically saying, if you'll pardon the pun, to start a gladiator ring, and the last person to win gets lifetime free insurance.
Yeah. Could do it you could just do it in the Morrison's car park.
And then you weed out the bad drivers. So say you've got an 80-year-old
Ooh.
driving,
Yeah.
but then you've got, a very, very good Formula One driver.
Yeah.
Whoever wins out of those two, and it's very evenly matched, but whoever wins out of those two, I guess, one is the superior human being, two is worthy of insurance.
Right. And then,
if I'm understanding you correctly.
I think that's good. And you could maybe even really develop it where if there's one person who's at fault in the accident, they get maybe a sword.
A sword, or you execute them in front of a gallery.
I'm not sure about
to
that one.
show weakness, because if you've been weak enough to get injured, maybe you shouldn't be driving anyway.
I'm not certain about that. I think it needs to be an even fight. But
Okay,
I don't
well,
know.
we
tell you what,
workshop
we can
it.
bring it back to some actual statistics, if you like, to get away from the horrific stuff you're saying. So in 2023, there were 6,136 penalties handed out for those aged 17 to 20. And to add to that, the average annual premiums increased by a quarter between 2022 and 2023.
Not the year 22.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, bit more recent. I don't think they had insurance back then. So there's clearly an issue, but there's a correlation here. We could be doing some scientific work here today, really getting the word out to the public.
I feel like we've done good today.
Well, I think we'll leave that segment there, but we've really helped there. So thank you, Henry.
Anytime.
Now, as promised, the final bit of news comes from the brilliant world of Formula One, as you mentioned just a moment ago. And you'll be happy to hear that I shall not be the one telling you this story. Well, I sort of will, but I haven't written it, at least. This piece actually comes from my special F1 correspondent called Chiram, who knows everything about the sport. However, he is unable to join us today on the show, as he is busy freediving in the Mariana Trench.
He is real, though.
Yeah.
He is real.
Yeah.
I found out he's real. He's real.
Real, yeah.
Yep.
So instead, he has sent me his script in the mail here. So I haven't read this yet. So we'll go through it now. Hello, this is your F1 correspondent Chiram. Well, actually, it's Reese, but it's Reese reading out the words of your F1 correspondent Chiram. Anyway, so quite a lot has happened in the world of F1 recently, but I think we should start with the big news. Lando Norris has won a Formula One Grand Prix. I know a lot of people always said that it was just a matter of time of when Lando would win the race. I've read that wrong, sorry, but not if. But in the back of my mind, I did fear that he could be the next Nick Heidfeld, a driver who undoubtedly had the talent to win, but was just never in the right place at the right time. I'm glad this was not the case for Lando, especially considering how painfully close he was to winning in Russia 2021. Probably the most important thing to take away from the win is the fact that this is, with the exception of Singapore last year, the first race since 2022 where another team has had a car a decent bit faster than the Red Bull. Norris pulling away from Verstappen after the safety car restart and finishing 7.6 seconds ahead shows that McLaren are making impressive progress. And with Lando getting so close to another win in Imola, it proves that it wasn't just a fluke. There has, of course, been some other stuff going on. Kevin Magnussen received 35 seconds worth of penalties in a 19-lap sprint race, and Mike Crack and Aston Martin have been busy working on their latest downgrades, seemingly with the aim of making their car as undrivable as possible. But most of the other big news is about stuff happening off track. And the biggest of this is the big news that Adrian Newey announced that he will be leaving Red Bull. Newey designed multiple championship-winning cars for Williams and McLaren before he moved to Red Bull in 2006, where he designed more championship-winning cars for Vettel and then later Verstappen. It seems like he has a decent idea of how to design an F1 car. Yeah. Now, Newey's somewhat unexpected departure, of course, opens up a lot of speculation as to where he will go next. Ferrari. Newey has said that he would have liked the opportunity to work with Hamilton, and Fred Vasseur has been doing good things for the team since he took over as team principal. Aston Martin, maybe. Newey has also said that he would have liked to have worked with Alonso as well, although I don't recall him saying the same for Sir Lancelot. Yeah. Or maybe he will just retire. He is 65 after all, and considering he's been in F1 since the 1980s, he might feel like just doing something else. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe he'll start his own team with Latifi and Sargent. You never know. Well, that's all we've got time for today. Join us next time for when we find out that Toto Wolff has given up finding a replacement for Hamilton and has instead just decided to drive the Mercedes himself. There we are. Well, thank you very much, Sharon. But I think it is time we got back to the feature from earlier in the show. I was trying to find out whether AI was able to write a script for a car review for me to perform. It was going, well, yeah, it was going. And to be honest, as the film goes on, it does get slightly stranger. I spend more time than I usually do talking to inanimate objects. But first, it was time to do some driving.
Now, let's talk about the driving experience. Camera, getting close as I hit the road. The 1.6 litre engine is peppy enough, as he tries to drive at the same time, to make you forget. I'm just gonna not make us crash and die, guys. Okay, hold on.
So that is crucial for the review.
It is, yeah.
We do have to survive this.
To have some footage.
Yeah.
The 1.6 litre engine is peppy enough to make you forget you're driving a car from the early 2000s. It's so smooth that getting in and out of traffic is almost as effortless as convincing your friend to check out the spacious trunk. Trust me, I've been in there.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, but whatever. On the highway, the Golf maintains stability and road noise is well contained. Camera, capture the scenic views outside as we cruise along.
On the highway.
Yeah. It's so quiet you might even hear the crickets outside when you roll down the windows. But don't worry, they're just trying to join the party inside your awesome ride. Navigating tight spaces is a breeze with the Golf's compact dimensions. Camera, follow along as I effortlessly park this beauty. It's like the car whispers to the parking spaces. Don't worry, I got this. If only it could talk back when you accidentally leave your keys inside. Like, that's pretty weird, right? Why does it want the car to talk back? Why does it want it to whisper back? It's proper weird, this AI stuff. Have I parked? That was quite hard. I should have forward parked. Why did I think I could reverse park and read? And talk? Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Reliability. Camera, zoom in on the sturdy build and resilient engine. The 2003 Mark IV Golf has earned its stripes as a dependable companion on the road. Routine maintenance is the key to keeping the laughs and adventures rolling, and this Golf makes that easy with its straightforward design. Straightforward design. And now for a special segment of our review, an exclusive interview with my co-pilot, Teddy. Camera focuses on Teddy in the passenger seat. Teddy, how's the comfort level in the Golf? Are you enjoying the ride? Teddy responds with silent gestures or nods. Looks like Teddy approves. Now, Teddy, tell us, what do you think of the Golf's stylish interior?
Teddy inspects the interior and gives a playful response. Even me there.
Teddy, rumour has it you're a fan of carpool karaoke. How's the sound system in this Golf? Teddy nods enthusiastically, pretending to sing along to the music. Host and Teddy share a laugh. In conclusion, the 2003 Mark IV Golf with a 1.6 litre engine and 5 doors is a classic choice, with a side of laughter, space and reliability. Camera captured the essence of this enduring charm, combined with reliable performance and practicality.
How am I even supposed to do that? And I have a name as well, I'm not just camera.
I don't know, to answer your first question. Yeah.
Yeah, so to conclude, I reckon some of our jobs may be safe from the imminent threat of AI taking over for the time being. Anyway, for the final bit of the show, I wanted to include some other people's car opinions instead of just our own. So to do some, it's time for the final segment of the show called What Do People on X, formerly known as Twitter, Think? Obviously, for this, I've got to bring in someone else. So, to present the internet's opinion, here is a man who not only has social media, but once got cancelled 71 times in one day for a slightly interesting opinion on women's football. Henry, would you like to repeat your previous statements?
First of all, you're wrong. That's not true.
It was
Silence, wench! Let me read these tweets. Why am I here if not to do this? Robert, as much as I like the Citroen C1, that these are chopping which is a branded blender and turns them into this mulch that they use to fuel the cars.
I think we'll leave.
5G that they're using to control it comes from ChatGPT.
Right. Okay. Well, to be honest, I think at this point,
don't silence me.
I don't think we can say this.
I'm trying to do my bit. This was for you.
Thanks. Good. Right. Well, I think that provides us with a nice point to end the show. So thank you all for watching very much. I do hope you enjoyed. And remember, if you have any complaints, hate comments, or anything like that, anything mentioning a certain other member of my crew, send them over to Quays TV, and that way I'll never see them. Until next time, see you soon. Bye-bye.